Welcome back. It is 6:44 now. Of course, the nor'easter has moved out, but the mess is just sitting right upon us. The roads this morning, it all depends on where you live, of what the driving conditions are like. Joining us now on the phone is Lieutenant Vance with the State Police. Lieutenant Vance, how are the roads this morning from what you're hearing? Were there a lot of accidents last night, and is it any better this morning?
Well, certainly during the storm, State Police were extremely busy on highways and secondary roads all across Connecticut. As of right now, the numbers look like we responded to 352 accidents across the state during the storm. But in addition to that, we responded to over 1,800 calls for service, which covers a multitude of issues. We still have some slippery conditions in spots. I mean, the roads look like they're clear, but some of the bridges and some of the exit ramps, you got to use extreme caution. And in addition to that, we have areas where there are trees, branches, and wires down, as you've been reporting. So our plate is still full here in Connecticut as we weather through this storm.
Yeah, post-storm safety obviously is a big issue, and we're dealing with, again, hundreds of thousands of power outages. What do you expect to be the bulk of the calls, and you mentioned the calls for service, what do you expect to be the bulk of the calls state troopers are going to be getting maybe today, tomorrow, and moving forward?
Well, I think, Chris, one of the major issues is the blockages of roadways, especially secondary roads where you have trees and branches. When they're intertwined with power lines, any power line that's intertwined with any tree or branch has got to be considered live. It's dangerous. Our concern today, obviously, as we're moving forward, is young people going out with snow-covered trees and branches, and wires could be hidden. So we want to certainly caution parents that it still could be pretty dangerous out there. If you don't have any power, or if your neighborhood's without power, consider there's got to be power lines down. Please exercise extreme caution.
Lieutenant Vance, what can you tell us? We understand that one person in Connecticut was killed due to this storm, an accident on the road. Tell us about that.
I don't have the specific details. I certainly know that we had a fatal accident in Hebron on Route 85. I believe it was a one-vehicle accident that occurred during the storm. And there were several other accidents that we experienced that did produce significant injury. So needless to say, it was a very busy storm, and again, we continue to believe it's going to be busy for the next few days as we get back on our feet.
And as we talked about with Jeff Adams, the DOT, timing is everything, and perhaps we got a little lucky, dodged a bit of a bullet in that this happened on a weekend as opposed to in the middle of a busy week.
Well, absolutely correct, and that should also send a little message. Hopefully, DOT and other agencies will be able to get out and get some of the roadways clear. So I guess the message simply still is, even though it appears the storm is over, if you don't need to go out, it's probably safest to stay off the roads and pay attention to news reports before you venture out.
Let the pros do their jobs. Lieutenant Vance, thanks for your time this morning.
Yes, sir.